Well, cheers and howdy do, buckaroos. How the heck are you? I am Tony Beer Whisperer. So here's the thing. I was going to have some whiskey last night. My birthday was actually Wednesday, May 24th. But I worked, man. I did have a couple beers in the evening. But, you know, I typically wait till the weekend. So last night I finally got everything done I need to get done. Back to Springfield, Missouri. And I was going to have some whiskey, and I had some that I'd put away. And I just had a little bit left. I'd finish it up, or, you know, at least have a nice pour of it. And then behind a couple of things in the cabinet, I found this that I'd actually forgot about. Well, I didn't find with this bottle. What I found was a jar that had oak chips in it. It was a batch that I made about 3.5 years. It got tucked away and forgot about. So it was kind of a nice birthday surprise. So if you take a look at that color of that whiskey, though, it's absolutely gorgeous. This particular whiskey, though, I'm not sure what I started with, because again, like I said, I forgot about it. I think it's the Crown Valley malt, but I'm not 100%. But what I did with this batch is I put a half a cinnamon stick and a vanilla bean with it. So it aged with the cinnamon and vanilla. Here I have some poured neat. As you could tell, that's just a gorgeous color. I had some last night and did a live video with for Facebook, and I just enjoyed it so much. I didn't mean to drink as much as I did last night. Actually, what I did is I poured a shot neat. I poured a shot on the rocks, but I enjoyed it so much I had one more shot neat. And I was going to drink the rest of it neat, but I said, well, I got to do a live video doing neat and rocks. So let me drink the rocks first before I get too much water on it. Again, so this was a risky whiskey set. So it comes with some whiskey. You age it, for however long you drink it, and then, you know, there you go. This is, I can't remember. I think I said my live video was the second run through, but I honestly don't remember if it's the second or third run through for these oak chips. I think that's why I added the cinnamon and the vanilla, because I wasn't sure how much, you know, the oak chips had left to give after being used twice already. So now I'm into Irish whiskey kind of thing. You know? But anyways, a lot of vanilla on the nose, as you might expect, since I used a vanilla bean. I'm also getting some deep, dark, almost burnt caramel-like notes on the nose. Let's take a drink, huh? Very nice earlier, but it was humid as heck, so you knew it was going to storm. They've been talking about storms coming in. So I came out here and I grilled some burgers for the family. Actually, I did gear stuffed sliders is what I did. But anyways, and I just got them in when it started downpouring, but then it quit a little bit. So I'm trying to make dinner out here now. I'm going to put away. I'm trying to grill some Salisbury steak with the remaining burger that I had. I'm going to do, if I can get that grilled enough, I'm going to finish it inside when I make the gravy. I'll let it simmer in the gravy. But anyway, back to the whiskey. I told you all that just to let you know that I'm outside doing a video, trying to get it all done before it starts raining again. It'd probably help if I didn't ramble along the way. A lot of vanilla, as you might expect, but not overwhelming. Again, the caramel notes are more of a deep, dark caramel, almost burnt caramel. But yeah, I'm also getting some dark fruit notes, more like a dark raisin, possibly some fig. It took me a while to set up the video last night, and it sat on ice longer than it has right now. I noticed when I drank it last night that I got the cinnamon all the way through it. When I drank it neat, I got the cinnamon mostly at the end. Here, I'm kind of feeling the cinnamon mostly at the end, because it hasn't melted as much as it did last night before I started drinking. But it's nice. It almost mimics like Missouri White Oak. Missouri White Oak can give you a lot of cinnamon notes, and it kind of feels like that. Oh, it's very nice. Again, if it was the Crown Valley malt that I use, it's a 100 proof whiskey. So having the ice cube in really doesn't hurt it any. And I don't know. I go back and forth between neat and rocks, neat rocks, neat rocks. I drink mostly neat in the fall and winter. I drink a lot of rocks in the spring, summer. Now, let me have some neat for you. I just love that color, don't you? That's just gorgeous, huh? It almost has a cognac-like color to it. was really impressed with this stuff. Here's the funny thing is, I've made several, semi-homemade batches using, somebody else's unaged whiskey and then aging it myself. I've made several batches. Some I've liked better than others. None I've hated, though. But the funny part about it is this, batch I forgot about that I have no idea what I did to it other than the vanilla bean and the cinnamon is my favorite. It is remarkably smooth. That could be because it sat for 3.5 years in a little jar. The nose is fantastic. Again, a lot. I'm using my mini snifter here. A lot of vanilla. I'm certainly picking up some cinnamon. I am still feeling some. I did mention the oak and the rocks now I think about it, but you feel the oak mostly near the end. Hint of now the dark fruits appear more on neat than they do rocks, especially on the nose. I'm almost getting like a raisin, a dark raisin, almost like a candied dark fruit kind of note. You know what I mean? Oh, my nose won't quit itching. I apologize. I'm outside and it's been brutal. Oh, the texture, gosh, that's good. Look at that, no face at all, man. It is remarkably silky. It is just, the texture is just amazing on this whiskey. It just, oh man, I wish I had a jug of this stuff. To me, it's that good. I don't know if you think it's that good, but I think it's freaking brilliant. Again, dark fruits, again, raisin, maybe some fig, but again, almost like kind of a candied dark fruit or a dried candy dark fruit kind of thing. I'm also feeling some rye bread-like notes in there. The caramel notes are, again, of a very dark or almost burnt caramel. I do feel the oak and the cinnamon more near the end on the neat version, and it kind of lingers slightly. Not in a necessarily super spicy way, but you can feel that cinnamon kind of hang on there. I found the cinnamon at a shop, and it wasn't even necessarily like, you see the rolls. It wasn't like that. It was more, it was just like a flat piece of cinnamon about like that, and I broke half of it off and aged it in there with a vanilla bean. Just the vanilla notes. I just love the vanilla notes, man. I love vanilla anyway. To me, it's not overwhelming. You can definitely feel the vanilla. But what I was trying to do is I added the vanilla bean and the cinnamon because, again, I wasn't sure how much I'd lost from the wood. You know what I mean? Oak can give you notes of cinnamon, oak's notes of vanilla. So I was trying to add that to kind of help it out. But I don't know that it needed it, but it tastes good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but man, there is no face. It is remarkably smooth. Gosh, this is fine whiskey. This is whiskey I'd probably pay if let me say it this way: if I paid $50 for a bottle of a large, not this size. If a bottle of this size cost me $25 and tasted this good, I would be happy with it. How about that? Oh, it's just gorgeous. It's funny, I do that sometimes. I'll do something, and then things came up, and then I forgot about it. So, that happens. Sometimes I'll do that with beer. I'll find something in the back of the fridge, or who knows. Anyways, it was kind of funny, though. Just the timing of it, I guess, it's right after my birthday. It was the Friday where I could finally, have a couple. And I was looking for my other whiskey, and I found this by accident. So it was, it was like I found a birthday present, man. Oh. So the rest of this bottle, I'm going to try to put away and not drink, although it is just tempting. It really is that good. I will probably drink the rest of it neat because it just feels so good neat. It doesn't lose a lot on the rocks, but the texture is silkier. The flavors are bolder. It just feels good neat. Oh, yeah. To reiterate, lots of vanilla, a lot of vanilla up front, especially on the nose. Deep, dark, almost burnt caramel-like notes. In the neat version, I didn't get it on the rocks, but the neat version, I also get like a hint of rye bread. What else did I say earlier? Now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, cinnamon. Of course, you get that cinnamon and the oak. The cinnamon and the oak, I feel near the end. The oak is subtle, and that's probably because it's been used, 2 or 3 times at this point. I can't remember if this was the second or third run, but I'm thinking, I said earlier it was the second run, but it might have been the third run now that I'm looking back. I like the fact that I added the vanilla and cinnamon because I'm getting those notes in such a pleasant way. It's not like drinking a cinnamon whiskey, it's ain't Fireball, man. But it's almost like it mimics as if I use Missouri White Oak, which can give you distinct cinnamon notes. Oh, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So there you go. Hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer. Having some whiskey. When my birthday falls in the middle of the week, Wednesday, if it falls on a Monday, then I celebrate the Friday, Saturday, Sunday before. If it falls on a Wednesday, I celebrate from Wednesday through, and it happens to be Memorial Weekend, so I could do a lot Wednesday, I could do a lot Thursday. I was too tired to do a lot yesterday, but I did drink some of this, so I'm hoping to knock a couple back tonight. So there you go. Hey, I'm Tom the Beer Whisperer, BeerVangelist, prolific beer and whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, an all-around good guy, and I hope you all having a nice Memorial Day weekend. And remember what it's actually about. I don't think there's anything wrong with having fun and enjoying yourself on Memorial Day, but we need to remember those that served. My dad was a World War II and Korean War vet. He had a Bronze Star and Purple Heart in World War II. These guys were special. That is the greatest generation for a reason, and we should remember that. And not just them, though. We need to remember all of those that served through any period of time. And so I don't think we necessarily need to be somber for Memorial Day weekend, but we should be humble and show some humility and respect for those that did. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. I hope you all are having a good one.